Hello, everyone. This is the Lost Boy. This week, I'm talking about a topic that's a little bit not too fun to talk about. I have some information on the screen right now, some information for suicide prevention in Canada, also a phone number, a national phone number for suicide prevention in the U.S. If you have any thoughts of harming yourself, I would ask you to please contact the phone number, or in Canada, unfortunately in Canada, what we have is a website which you can go to and search through for numbers of local crisis centers, which personally I find less than ideal. I feel like when someone is in that moment of extremity, what they need is someone to speak to right now. And even the 5 or 10 minutes that it could take to look at a website and try to find a phone number in your area, that could be a little bit too much for someone who needs some help right now. So that's another thing that maybe we could look at here in Canada, is maybe looking at how they're able to do that in the US and maybe bringing something like that here. So yes, please, if you have any thoughts that you can't continue, or you might do something to yourself, please reach out to one of these centers. If not, if you can't do that, at least speak to someone close to you. They're less qualified to deal with helping you, but they're probably going to help you get the help that you need. So just really saying anything to anyone is better than saying nothing. So anyways, I'm going to move on. The reason why I'm talking about this now is fairly obvious. If you've been living under a rock for the past couple of days, you may not know that there's a video that came out on YouTube which has brought this topic to the forefront. I want to talk a little bit about YouTube right now. I find YouTube is it's a very exciting new form of media, newish anyway. It's disruptive. There's a lot of positive aspects about it, but there's also a pretty obvious dark side. Certain behaviors and personality types are continuously escalated in order to continue to grab attention and rake in views. This is just an outgrowth of how YouTube's algorithm works. Even YouTube's algorithm is simply an outgrowth of media trends that have been happening since media came along. Like, eyeballs equal money and influence. So people have to get your attention. That's how media works. Basically, I think that YouTubers like Logan Paul are really just the logical outcome of this scenario. In some ways, you could almost feel sorry for how dumb Logan Paul is. He's like a rat pushing a button for a pellet. Like, the last 450 times he pushed that button, he got a pellet. And now he just has no idea why this time would be different. This topic is very close to my heart. Around 15 years ago, I lost a very close personal friend to suicide, and I still miss him a lot. Sometimes I'll be dreaming and he'll be in my dream, and I'll look at him and I'll say, "What the hell, man? We all thought you were dead." And then when I wake up, I'm just heartbroken all over again. This was just my friend. Like, he was a very good friend, but imagine if that was my brother or my sister or my parent or my child. How hard would that be? The tone that the people in the Logan Paul video were showing about the suicide forest in Japan is really, it's almost as gut-wrenching as the image of that poor guy hanging in the tree. I really feel like I want to say more about how this video was hyped the day before it was released, meaning that there was a lot of time to think about how this didn't make sense and maybe not do what they did. Also, I could talk about how the apology that came on Twitter seemed a lot more self-obsessed than apologetic, and other things like that. But it seems to me right now, almost all of YouTube is talking about all of those things. Everyone seems to get the point of how wrong that is. But what's being spoken about a little bit less is actually the cause for all of this, which is, it's really people who watch YouTube. So really, this is all our fault, everyone. How's it not our fault? If we click on the videos, then people realize people want to watch those videos. YouTube realizes people want to watch those videos. YouTube's job is simply to serve videos for the people who want to watch the videos. So we can get angry at YouTube, and we should get angry at YouTube, but we also need to put the mirror up, and we need to be a little bit more careful about what our kids are watching. We need to be a little bit more engaged and take these situations as teachable moments, which is when you show your kid or your friend or whatever why this kind of thing is heinous and shouldn't happen. So, lastly, I'd like to take a moment to say one more thing about Mr. Paul. There's been a lot of throwing around of the terms male privilege and white privilege, and Mr. Paul just so happens to be both male and white. My theory is that his behavior is not related to his whiteness or his maleness, but rather to his extreme douchiness, and therefore I will now coin the term douche privilege and declare Logan Paul the poster boy for it. Also, maybe Jake Paul. I'm pretty upset about this. I'm gonna leave it here because I really don't think I have much else to say that isn't just raging. So, all I have to say again is, anyone who's having any thoughts of self-harm, again, please reach out and get some help, preferably from someone who's really qualified, but really anyone, just anyone. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week.